How are we doing? It's Maybach Egg, and welcome back to another timeless video, our first in the Hobbit metagame. Today we're going to be taking a look at Azorius Affinity with a Lurrus companion. Now, you might be thinking, Lurrus companion, that disqualifies you from running Thought Monitor, that disqualifies you from running Emery. Yes, it certainly does. We are running a very tight affinity shell here with the new card, Bilbo, Thief in the Night. If you've never seen this card before, Bilbo is a 2/2, 2-mana creature. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast. When he attacks, you may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell from your graveyard, and if an instant or sorcery spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Bilbo will be doing a weird sort of Emery impression where you definitely don't want to see him in your opening hand unless he's fodder for Force of Will or our 2 Chrome Mox, but he's kind of a mid to late game threat where if you plop him down and even get 1 attack trigger with him, you're recurring your Swords to Plowshares, a Fragment Reality, or ideally, you're recurring your Drix Interlacer back from the graveyard for exactly 0 mana, making it a Giga Mishra's Bauble. If you've never taken a look at Drix Interlacer before, this is an alchemy card. It says, whenever another artifact you control enters, it intensifies, and when you sack it, you draw X cards, where X is half this artifact's intensity rounded down. So, your Drix Interlacer is triggering off of your Tamiyo's Clue tokens, it's triggering off of Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble, Chrome Mox, it's triggering off of the map tokens that the Landlord Navigator makes. We played a couple matches with Landlord Navigator recently, so I won't review this card, but this is maybe the most busted affinity card they've printed in a while. Another alchemy card that makes thieving magpies. Your Drix Interlacer triggers off of Ancient Den and Seed of the Synod as well, and it triggers off of whatever you get back from the graveyard with Bilbo. Bilbo can also recast a Thought Cast for very cheap. That's certainly come up in a number of situations. I've been very happy with that. And he gets Mishra's Bauble as well. He gets Soul Guide Lantern, which we have a 1 of in this deck. I do think Bilbo is probably the worst card in the deck, but since he does Emery style things for 2 mana, it lets us run Lurrus. So Lurrus can do the same thing with Drix Interlacer, with Mishra's Bauble. It can get our Landlord Navigators back. It can get our Tamiyos back, all without having to attack. And with our Mox Opal, Chrome Mox mana base going on, it's not too uncommon that if we don't have a really good play on turn 2, but we've made 2 land drops and a Mox Opal, we can put Lurrus into our hand really quickly. And if we start with a strong opening hand with Landlord Navigator, maybe a Tamiyo, maybe we're able to play Landlord on turn 1 with an Ancient Den Mox Opal sort of deal, we're just making birds, tokens, game objects, and we are off to the races. I've actually had a pretty surprisingly strong record with this, playing against some relatively meta decks. I've taken a lot of games down against various blue tempo decks. I've beaten some Sneak and Show on the ladder. I ate shit to Mardu Energy, which is kind of to be expected, but we've got some sideboard tech to hopefully work with that matchup. Starting off, we have 4 Spell Pierce. I've considered running Metallic Rebuke here, which is that 3 mana improvise spell that lets you counter a non-creature spell unless the controller pays 3 mana. I think I'd rather stick with Spell Pierce just in case, like, you know, we don't have the artifact tokens or whatever to Metallic Rebuke something. And I don't think the permission of 2 mana versus 3 mana is that worth it if it means we can't guarantee casting this spell. We've also got 4 Stern Scolding for blue tempo, Mardu Energy. Maybe we'll spike a Grief or 2. And then we have 3 copies of Winds of Abandon. This is a 2 mana white sorcery that is a path to exile. It can be overloaded for 4 white and a white. I think I maybe ended up casting this once on the overload cost against some like go wide shitters deck. 6 mana is obviously an awful lot, especially in timeless terms, but like I was saying, if we hit our land drops, we're, you know, in the business of drawing shit tons of cards. We got Mox Opal, we got Chrome Mox. It's not unfeasible that we hit 6 mana, as long as we don't die before we need to cast it. And then we've got 3 Fairy Macabre to make sure we don't eat absolute shit to Turbo Reanimator. The last thing I'll say is that I'm testing one key to the side door. This is a card that seems specifically designed for Bilbo in the sense that for 2 mana, you can make target creature unblockable. So Bilbo, who has been maligned probably appropriately so as too slow of a creature for the timeless format, he can get in without having to be lost to our opponent's creatures. And it also has another ability, 1 and tap, and discard a legendary card with the same name as a legendary permanent you control. Draw 2 cards. So if you happen to draw your second Bilbo while you have one in play, you can just get rid of him and draw 2 cards, which is pretty strong upside. This would obviously be fantastic if Urza Saga was timeless legal. I'm really hoping Urza Saga gets added to the Arena Powered Cube reward packs this upcoming Powered Cube season. This would be a unbelievable Saga deck, no questions asked. And Key to the Side Door would be a wonderful card to pick up with Urza Saga's Chapter 3 sack trigger. Something I haven't tested is if you can discard a Tamiyo Inquisitive Student when you have a flipped Tamiyo Planeswalker out there. Maybe that'll come up in the matches. I'm certainly hoping we'll get a couple of matches where we're able to like really assess Bilbo's power level. Like I said earlier, he's very good in the mid to late game. I definitely do not think he has the starting threat of a Landlord Navigator or a Tamiyo by any means. So we're going to be in the business of removing our opponent's permanents, drawing some cards, maybe ulting a Tamiyo or 2. Let's hop into some games. Right. We are on the draw with a bang banger. Ancient Den, Seed of the Synod, into Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble, Landlord Navigator. Make a bird. Let's hit it. Stitcher's Supplier. All right, are we playing against some mill? Interesting. Okay, well, we could Fragment Reality that. But I kind of want to start drawing some cards here. So let's play out our stuff. We got a Key to the Side Door and a Seed of the Synod to trigger Landlord next turn. Let's crack the bauble. Take a peek at what they got going on. Unearth. Okay. So that'll get back. Ooh, the Soul Guide Lantern is huge. If they're on some like Rakdos Breach shit, man, that's really money. I haven't played against this deck in a really long time. I'm excited to see what they're up to. At least I think they're Rakdos Breach. Maybe they're just mono black mill shit. We'll find out. All right, Seed of the Synod. I think we drop the Soul Guide and then we frag them. Let's get rid of the Strip Mine. Fragment Reality on a 1-drop. Folks, it doesn't get much better than that. Come on now. All right. I don't want to win this game too fast. I want to know what they're up to. I'm glad we got the intel on the Unearth. Looks like we're going to connect. Maybe not. They're going to flash in a Bowmaster? Perhaps? Overgrown Tomb. Yep, Bowmaster. All right, that's not good for us. But good thing we've got the Fragment Reality on deck. So they're going to ping the Navigator. That's sad. Well, let's go ahead and frag their Bowmaster. Not ideal because they're going to hit a Stitcher Supplier. Yup. But we can blow up their graveyard whenever we want. Okay, Advanced Floral Invocations. I think the homie Goblin Lasagna told me about this card. Whenever a land you control enters, mill 2 cards. Creatures perpetually get +1/+1. And then you get a permanent Yogg-Will. Okay. And they have Bloodghast type stuff. And Grief and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Bilbo, what can you get back? You can get back a Frag and a Mishra's Bauble. That seems pretty good. Let's, we don't need to play the Chrome Mox. Let's pass. They can unearth a Bloodghast, which I think I'll let them do because I don't want to blow up the Soul Guide Lantern yet. We're definitely going to be boarding in some Stern Scolding in this matchup for sure. Strip Mine. Bloodghast coming back. Okay, we could do Bilbo this turn. And we could key to the side door with him. Seems kind of fire. Another Bloodghast. All right. Yeah, I think I like Bilbo, Ancient Den. Well, let's attack first. Ooh, Tameo. Okay. Tameo is really tempting. Do we want Tameo or Bilbo? I think we want Bilbo because we'll put a we'll put a map token on him. And then hopefully boost him to a 3/3. Yeah, that sounds good. And we'll put the bauble in the graveyard. We don't need it right now. Now he's a 3/3, so these Bloodghasts have to die to him. That seems pretty good. Could also get rid of the Orc army. I don't know. I don't know if it really matters all that much. I am running into Fatal Push here, but I think I'm okay with that. They could spend their Unearth if they don't have a land. They do. Okay. We're going to bring the Ghast back. I could nuke the graveyard at some point when they have their Bloodghasts in the yard. Okay, Landlord Navigator is huge. In fact, I think I'm just going to drop... Well, okay. Do we swing with Bilbo? I think so. We could frag the Stitcher Supplier. But we wouldn't be able to cast... Oh, we could cast Chrome Mox off of that, but let's cast the Landlord Navigator. And then I think what I want to do is attack with everybody. Draw a couple cards. Do we want the bauble or do we want frag? I think we want frag. I think we're in the like kind of business of making sure we don't die here. Do we frag the Stitcher Supplier or the Bloodghast? I think we frag a Bloodghast. Call me crazy, but I think we're going to go for it. Those just get to keep coming back and back and back. And I'm not super worried about the Stitcher Supplier because if we need to, we can just nuke the yard if they try to like combo off. But it looks like they're kind of more of a value Stitcher Supplier sort of deal. Okay, so they can't block. And then I think what we got to do, depending on what we draw here, yeah, we could do Chrome Mox to activate Landlord Navigator. I actually don't hate that, just to like make a blocker. There's an argument to pitch the Tameo under the Chrome Mox. Maybe that's not the worst thing in the world, because then we can just get Lurrus out next turn maybe and do some shenanigans. But, yeah, you know what? Let's put Tameo under there. I'm sold.
If you need me, I'll be in the library.
And then we get a 1/3. Can block the Bloodghast. We'll take 3 from the Orc Army and the Stitcher Suppliers, but I'm starting to like our position a little better. Okay, they're Unearthing Cankerbloom. We could blow up the graveyard right now. It's certainly chock full of shit. Let's do that. Yeah, let's get rid of their yard. I don't think I want them doing Canker Bloom stuff. They swing with the team. I'll block Thieving Magpie. I'll block Bloodghast with Thieving Magpie. And then they'll crack their Bloodstained Mire. Bring back the Bloodghast. Ooh, Floral Invocations. All right. Okay, now we want to get Soul Guide back with Bilbo. We can also Key to the Side Door him, but I don't think they're going to present another blocker here. They're going to start milling a shit ton of cards. Springheart Nantuko. This is a cool list. Very neat. All right, Drix Interlacer. Card draw town. Let's go. We attack with everybody? Do we leave a Thieving Magpie back? Or a Landlord Navigator? No, we want to draw as many cards as we can. And we're going to do that ASAP. Soul Guide Lantern. Let's get rid of Nantuko. No blocks. We're going to make at least one Magpie. Swords to Plowshares. Couldn't love it more. Okay, Key to the Side Door. We could pitch the Bilbo. This is where it happens, folks. We're going to pitch the Bilbo. And they scoop. All right. We didn't even get to do it. Fuck. Okay, we have a couple of cards that could see some good play here. Fairy Macabre, Stern Scolding. I definitely want the Stern Scoldings. Maybe more so than a Force of Will. Man, Soul Guide Lantern, main deck, real hero, that matchup. I think I want Sterns more than the Forces. We could do Fairy Macabre and get... Maybe we do like one less Fragment Reality and a Fairy Macabre, because that is sometimes going to hit like a 2-drop, and we don't really want them going into their 1-drops. I don't know. Maybe that's cope, but everything we saw was scoldable. Unless they like have like a cheeky Moonshadow or something that we didn't see. Like, yeah, literally everything we saw was scoldable. Okay, so we got one Fairy Macabre. Do we want another? We could trim the Key to the Side Door. I'm like not that nuts about it. We did get to see it kind of do its thing. Yeah, 4 Scolding, 2 Macabre seems good, just as a way to like nullify some kind of reanimation spell they got going on. Let's give this a shot. Lurrus conditions not met. That's the thing with Fairy Macabre. I think it's worth it. We'll reassess if we go to game 3. Okay, this is a turn 2 Landlord Navigator, but we can frag on 1. This seems pretty good to me. Maybe we save the frag for the Bowmasters. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, sick. Let's, yeah. Do we want to play one of the baubles? No. We want to use that for Landlord trigger fodder. It's a little bit of a tough matchup for Landlord Navigator. You know, the we have to answer the Stitcher Supplier if we want to attack in with the Navigator, which is a bit of a bummer, but, you know, so be it. Let's hope they, like, go all in on a spell here and let us get at least one trigger off the Landlord Navigator. Okay, they reanimate. That doesn't make me very happy, but they're going to grab the Landlord Navigator. I think it's got to be. And they just suck it up in terms of the removal. Maybe the Spell Pierces would have been a good idea. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. So that kind of reads as they have the fatal push for the navigator. But we'll see what they got going on. Do I want to juke and play Bilbo? I don't hate it. Yeah. Let's make him answer a Bilbo before the Landlord Navigator. Underground Mortuary. Okay, so no fatal push end step. They liked what they saw. They're going to top deck it. What do they got in the graveyard? They got a Springheart Nantuko. I can start going a little crazy. We're going to take this. I don't want them milling with Stitcher Supplier. I think taking 1 damage is not worth them milling 3 cards at this point. Another Stitcher Supplier, sure. Bowmaster. Would hate to see that get reanimated out of the graveyard. I think it's highly likely it will. Culling the Weak. Okay. Do they start comboing off here? Is that part of their deal? Grave Pact. That is spicy. Damn. Commander Banger. Are they going to hardcast a Grief? What are they doing? Feed the Bog. Creature cards in your graveyard perpetually get +1/+1. Then return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Jesus. Okay, well, that's what they've got going on. Shit. Bilbo's gonna die when they attack in. But we're gonna have a couple of card draw blockers. So that ain't bad. Let's bang in with Bilbo. I could have Mishra's Bobbled. And let's Swords the big Nantuko. They're going to make 1/1s. And if they're smart, they'll just chump block with 2 shitters. Or maybe I'll get to do a little Fragment Reality on the... Oh, no, I had to spend mana to Fragment Reality. Or to Swords the Springheart Nantuko. All right. Damn, they got a Bloodghast out. Let's crack. Just see what they get. Culling the Weak. Okay. All right, so we got to watch out for this Feed the Bog spell, huh? Damn. We got some blockers for their shitters. Wary Zone Guard. Do they have a Strip Mine in the yard? No, they don't. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's block one of these guys. And we'll take 15 otherwise. They're going to ramp. But we can Mishra's Bauble, Thought Cast, Landlord Navigator. Unfortunately, they're making a lot of 1/1s. That sucks. Damn, maybe our whole sideboard is kind of valid in this deck. Against this deck, I should say. Mishra's Bauble. Then let's attack with the Magpie. Draw a card. Okay, we could Swords the Wary Zone Guard. I don't hate that idea. We could blow up their graveyard. We didn't really hit. We needed like a Mox Opal or a land or something. This makes another blocker. Are we just dead? We might just be dead. We need another blocker. let's Soul Guide Lantern. Make another blocker. And at the very least, we can, like, nuke their graveyard when we want to. That is so wild, this fucking Feed the Bog card. Okay, I think I want, instead of getting rid of Force, I think I want to get, I want to put Force back in, but put, I think the Fairy Macabres aren't necessary in this matchup. Like, yeah, there are some scary spells, like, Weary Zone Guard can't get Stern Scoldinged, but pretty much everything else can. They're going to swing in with the team, I'm guessing. Yep. Let's block the Bloodghast with the Thieving Magpie. And then maybe... Oh wait, this is just lethal. I don't have a good block here. Like I can just I could chump with the Landlord Navigator, but yeah, that's not good. Okay, Force of Will's coming in, or maybe Spell Pierce instead? I don't know. How many blue cards do we have? We have a lot of blue cards, but let's add Forces. Let's trim... I don't know, maybe we trim the Bilbos, just because they have the blockers. Let's do Forces and 2 Spell Pierces. And, yeah. Let's run it like that. Okay, well, this is a... this holds up Spell Pierce. It holds up Swords. Does a couple of different things. It nukes their graveyard. I think, like, you know, we don't have a creature threat here, but it seems awfully strong. Let's run this. Draw a land, put Lurrus into our hand, or just tap Mox Opal, cast the next Mox Opal, and run it out. I bet they're thinking about if they want to throw Grief out here. Yep. Okay, they're griefing. Getting rid of Pillage the Bog, Feed the Bog. Okay, it'll resolve, and then if they decide to reanimate it, we could just Soul Guide Lantern it. Guess we also could have forced it and then Soul Guided it. But that's like removing 2 cards as well. Okay, so they go for the Spell Pierce. Oh, are they gonna Calling the Weak-It? Yep. Okay. Right on. This is a cool deck. Moon Shadow. Hey, you bet. This card's a pain in the butt. Stitcher Supplier. Okay. Mill some cards. Dark Ritual. Sephiroth. Damn. Okay. Well, I'm going to just Swords the Moon Shadow right now before it gets out of control. And then we'll be playing 2 cards to the each of us. What do they have here? Bowmaster? God damn. I was worried about that. I probably should have Swords that, but we'll just wait till we draw some more fucking removal. Damn. Okay. Well, we got a Hallowed Fountain. Put Lurrus into our hand. I can get down with that. Overgrown Tomb. Deep Cavern Bat. Man, fuck. What is this deck? Ugh. I hate that, bro. God damn. Okay. We got to get some removal for the DCB. Until then, we're taking 3 per turn. Ancient Den. Okay. You betcha. Damn. Man, that is a bummer. The perfectly timed Deep Cavern Bat. I mean, they're just drawing the nuts. Nicely done. Okay, Thoughtcast. I mean, it's now or never. Jesus Christ. Oh, what a way to go out. This sucks. Alright, that's it. GG's. That's a cool deck. I'm kind of interested in taking a look at that. I don't know if Sephiroth is timeless playable, but there were some neat cards in here. That fucking enchantment class thing is a little bit spooky. All right, we are on the play with a Tamiyo start. We could do Seat of the Synod, Key to the Side Door, Mox Opal, and then Tamiyo. Or we could just do Tamiyo and chill. But let's dump our hand. Opponent doesn't have a companion, so I'd rather not have any cards discarded. We'll just start cooking with Tamiyo. Next turn we could put Lurrus into our hand if Tamiyo gets removed. Play a Bilbo maybe. Ancient Tomb. Chrome Mox. What's this going to be? Red Stompy? White Stompy. Humans. The Wandering Rescuer. I never understood why this is in the deck, but I've also never played with it, so I don't know. Okay, a frag on our land. That's pretty aggressive. Dang. And a Chalice of the Void, turning off our 1-drops. Well, we'll have to answer that. Putting our swords under the Chrome Mox. Hit an attack. And then do we want to put Lurrus in hand or Bilbo or draw a card? I think we want to put Lurrus in hand. Yeah, let's do that. Be a shame if we got Anointed Prosecutored, or whatever that guy that takes a look at your hand and taxes you. Yep, there we go. Anointed Peacekeeper, you bet. You get your pick between Bilbo and Lurrus. I don't know what our deck's answers to Chalice of the Void on 1 are, which is a little spooky. We can play just like a Bilbo, Landlore, Navigator type of game, but maybe we'd prefer not to. Okay, Bilbo costs 4 to cast. You could draw a card with Tamiyo. I think I'd like to do that rather than just, like, throw Lurrus out there. Yep, Ancient Tomb's good. I mean, we could flip Tamiyo. It'll just start trading with Anointed Peacekeeper, but, like, eventually we could put Bilbo down and, or Lurrus and block it. Drew another Tamiyo.
I'll aid you. Violence is not the answer.
There's also an argument that we could have just kept grinding clue tokens with Tamiyo. But at least this stems the flow of them hammering us with damage. We really don't like that the One Ring got resolved. We really don't like that we're drawing our 1 mana plays.
I am not defenseless.
We could drop Lurrus and block the Anointed Peacekeeper. Yeah, let's do that. Opponent plays a library. Drawing cards with the One Ring. Yeah, we need an answer for Chalice and One Ring. I guess it's going to be Spell Pierce. Or Force. Thalia. You bet. If you want to attack, you can. We're going to trade. And then I play Bilbo next turn. It comes in tapped, but we can also play a Mishra's Bauble. Take a look at what they're going to draw. A library. That's fine. We'll draw some cards. Yeah, this Chalice on 1 is real good. They've got the green splash for the She-Hulk that prevents you from casting spells on your turn. They're going to have to deploy a One Ring here soon if they want to stop their bleeding. Halia, guided by light. This is that soul sister that gets to warp in and draw them more cards when they play creatures and whatnot. Anointed Peacekeeper. Guess what, bud? I got a lot of 1-drops. Check them out. I don't think I want to swing with Bilbo and get a Mishra's Bauble back. I think I want to... Oh, you know what? Thalia has first strike, so I can't actually do anything about her attacking Tamiyo anyway. Like, all these guys are going to come in and destroy Tamiyo. But they have to destroy Tamiyo or they die to their One Ring. The Halia really helps.
Words can't fix everything.
So I guess I will, I don't know. We'll see what we draw here. Soul Guide Lantern. Man, this sucks. I think let's scoop it up. This is, I mean, like, what are my outs? Really nothing. I mean, okay, I'll attack with Bilbo. Mishra's Bauble. Because they're just going to replay Halia and totally fuck us over.
Respect the library.
They're going to gain a bunch of life. Yeah, we're drawing all of our 1-drops. They replay Halia. They tap the One Ring. I'll scoop if they play another One Ring. Chromox. Maybe they missed on their One Ring. I don't know why this is taking so long for them. They're playing a Chalice on 0. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a very good second matchup for us. I hate to say it. Okay. We can scoop here. Let's take a look at what we got in the sideboard. We can consider... I don't think we care about Stern Scolding. We could do Spell Pierce. Winds of Abandon might have some text. Although... I don't know that it is going to be all that good. Yeah, it's tough to say. I think let's do Spell Pierce. We don't need a Soul Guide Lantern. We could consider Key to the side door, but I don't know. This is going to be this is a tough matchup. Our Landlord Navigators want to get through. Our Bilbo wants to get through. And... yeah, let's do Spell Pierce. Let's do maybe 1 or 2 Winds of Abandon. Maybe go down 2 Bilbos and just hope to have a banger first hand and ship it. All right, this is not going to play, I don't think. Well, we could counter a turn 1 Chalice. We just don't have white mana. I'm going to mull it. This is also not great, but it is a Trix Interlacer option for us. I don't know. Let's go down to 5. Okay. This at the very least is a turn 1 Landlord Navigator. I think we get rid of Tamiyo and Mishra and just jam Synod, Mox Opal, Pretty unlucky, but it's a place to start. They could take the turn to just... Oh, okay. No, no artifacts, huh? Or, sorry, no, chalice. Artifacts for us. Oh, yeah, we really like that. Yeah, that is a pretty strong turn to play for us. We're going to get another bird. We can crack this. Yeah, why not? Mishra's Bauble, we'll leave that on top. And do we crack the other bauble? I don't think we do in case they zap one of our lands here. Because we want to keep Metalcraft up for Mox Opal. I'm really surprised they didn't, like, mull for a turn 1 Chalice on 1 or a Chalice on 0. That was just backbreaking. Jennifer Walters, we don't really care about her. She will trade with Landlord Navigator, which is a pain. But we can, you know what? We'll just swing in with the Thieving Magpies. And see if we can get another. Yeah, Drix Interlacer, Fragment Reality. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, do we want to frag or do we want to put Lurrus into our hand? Let's put Lurrus into our hand. And let's crack Bauble. Take a look at what they're getting. Sage of the Skies, nice. And then we'll set a stop in their upkeep. We'll draw a card. They'll draw a card, and we will... Okay, Ancient Tomb. Are they gonna... They're gonna One Ring. Yep, makes sense. We might have the Bird Flotilla. Although, the birds don't do anything on turn... On turns where they've got One Ring protection. Okay, so they're going to hold up that. Plains. Lurrus. Mishra's Bauble. Crack. We could frag the One Ring. Is that smoked? They could hit Sage of the Skies. They could hit Anointed, blah. They could hit any of their Thalias. They could hit a Jennifer Walters, which would be huge. I think we hit the One Ring. It's a little psycho, but I think we hit it. Man, I also should have played Seat of the Synod to get another Landlord trigger. But yeah, let's frag it right now. It's a gamble. What do they got? Jennifer Walters. Yes! Oh, man. Unreal. Ooh! Oh, my gosh. You picked the wrong one, buddy. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oof. All right. Do we want to... Let's crack and pump Lurrus. Yeah. Thoughtcast. You betcha. Another bird? Why not? All right, now we are cooking. We are cooking, folks. This is great. This is really great. They might double spell Sage of the Skies. Or they might just take a bunch of damage from their Ancient Tomb. Gobakhan. Hey, you know what? Go right ahead. We got lands on deck, baby. And now they're going to Sage. So they'll make 2 Flying Lifelinker 2/3s. So they would have to double block a bird to make sure it doesn't go through. Which, frankly, I'm okay with. All right. We got a Seat of the Synod coming up. We got Thoughtcast. We're definitely going to hit our Landlord Navigator trigger. We can crack the Drix Interlacer. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Seat. Tamiyo. Thoughtcast. Flip Tamiyo. Force of Will. That's solid. Swords is great too. We can
am not
crack the Drix
defenseless.
Interlacer and then just bring it back. It's the same thing. No, you know what? Let's put the Mishra's Bauble in. Then crack the Drix Interlacer for 2. Get a frag and a Tameo. We could just play the Tameo for funsies. And then go to attacks with the fucking murder of magpies. 2 are going to get through. Sorry, 3 are going to get through. Unless they, like, just bounce off of the Sage of the Skies, which they could do. So they're blocking 1 there. I think we're gonna swords one of them. Yeah, let's swords the token. Because then we can just frag the other guy. All right, Chrome Mox. That's an option. I don't think we need it. Let's start drawing a little bit off of our baubles. Witch Enchanter? Sure. Let's go to their upkeep and then draw. Gotta enter full control here. I want to see what they draw next. Spell Pierce is good. Chrome Mox. Yup. They could Witch Enchanter, get rid of the Mox Opal. They don't have any good attacks here. They do get to kind of stay alive as long as the Sage of the Skies is in play. Library. Witch Enchanter coming down. Uncounterable. What are you getting rid of? One of my lands? Fine. All good. He'll tap again for another. Sage is good. That's a nice top deck. Oh, and I can't force because Jennifer Walters is out. Dang, I didn't think of that. Oof. Okay. She's got to get answered. So do the Sages. So maybe what we do with Tameo is we buy back swords and then just keep up a bunch of defenders. Yeah, let's get back Tameo. Let's get back swords with Tameo.
A good story can refresh
Let's
the mind.
play the Drix Interlacer with the Lurrus. We just have so much shit on deck here. It's awesome. We'll swords the Sage of the Skies token. We will play out a Fragment Reality. We'll frag the Jennifer Walters. We'll play out a Mishra's Bauble. We'll tap a blue. We'll play out the Mox Opal. We'll Thought Cast. We'll flip the new Tameo, which is great because we're going to want to plus it anyway.
I'll aid you. So focus on faith.
We can... Let's see. We got a lot of options here. Let's Chrome Mox Bilbo? Yeah. Play the Landlord Navigator. Attack with 5 guys. They'll gain 4 life, but lose 4. We'll draw a shit ton of cards. This is the deck cooking, folks. It feels so good. And then let's just hold up swords. Make 2 birds. We're halfway through our deck. Nuts. And we go to game 3. All right. On the draw is going to be much more spooky. We definitely need a force to protect ourselves against turn 1 Chalice. I'm amazed we didn't see it at all this game. Winds of Abandon. Do we want it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm less fond of Spell Pierce on the draw, but I don't know. I think this is probably okay. Maybe we could do the Winds of Abandon, another one, but I don't know. I'm not going to overthink it. Just going to run it. Okay, we get fucking smoked by Chalice, so we can't keep this. This we could keep. It's sketchy, and it gets smoked by Chalice, but we do get to Thought Cast into something. So I'll put back the... yeah, I'm going to put back the Seat of the Synod and just hope to, like, Thought Cast into something nice. Turn 1 Chalice. Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Hard mode activated. And turn 0. You bet. Fuck. Yeah, this game is not going to take long. We need better Chalice tech. Maybe it's a prismatic ending. Maybe it's, I don't know what, but here comes the anointed procession. Oh, no, wait. It's Boromir. Okay. Damn. Yep. We're bricking hard. I put too much allegiance into that Thought Cast. Quick game. Quick game. Winds of Abandon. Okay. What do? You get rid of Boromir. That's kind of interesting. You don't get rid of anything else that we would want you to get rid of. We could also just put Lurrus in hand. Let's just put Lurrus in hand for now. If they land a Chalice on 2, it's just instant scoop. Cavern on human. We're on a 2-turn clock. Could play Lurrus next turn. The One Ring? Jesus, man. Yeah, this deck is really good against ours. It's really good. I imagine in some ways it might have a better game than Red Stompy. I'm just going to scoop it up here. I clearly needed to mull for exactly Force, but they had 2 Chalices. They would have, you know, probably saved the next one for turn 2. And, yeah, we're just toast. All right, GG's. That's tough to see. Let's see if we can pinch a game off here. We're on the play. We've got a Landlord Navigator turn 1 start with Synod, Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble. Seems good. I wish we had another threat in the chamber, but we'll take it. No companion from our opponent. Let's rip it. All right, they're on a mull to 6. Go ahead and Mishra's Bauble. All right, they got to stop there. That's interesting intel. Mox Opal. Run that out. Do I want to play the Landlord Navigator into what might be a Daze? What might be a Force? I think so. I mean, they can't daze us. They can only force us. Or Subtlety. But we'll get back the Landlord with Lurrus. And the Force is just a Force, you know? Can't do too much about that, even if we wait a turn. A Meticulous Archive and mill a land over. All right. Swords to Plowshares is a nice pickup. Let's go ahead and play our island. And we'll bring Lurrus to hand. Got Chrome Mox as an option. And it looks like they're on Esper Tempo. All right. Well, we got Swords for the Psychic Frog. Kind of love that. Let's go ahead and Swords it right now. See what they want to do here. All right. Frog down. Now the question is, do we want to jam Lurrus into potentially swords on their turn or force of will, something like that? Or do we want to play it slow? I think I'm down to play it slow. And you know what? Let's just run the force of will out under the Chrome Mox so that we can crack this bauble and see what they got going on over there. Well, they're drawing the Orcish Bowmaster, so we cracked that bauble just in time. They're running out another Psychic Frog. Okay, that's actually great, because we're just gonna... I mean, I think we just swords it again. Mishra's Bauble. Put out 2 baubles and then play Lurrus. Yeah, we can't do everything we want. But we do need to answer the Psychic Frog right now. So let's swords the frog. Let's play Lurrus. Ooh! Do we not have the right mana for it? Yeah, we don't. Oh, shit. We have too many blue sources. Okay, well, that's a bit of a bummer. We'll just have to wait another turn to cast our Lurrus. Okay, this is good, though, because here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the Lurrus. We're going to bring the Landlord Navigator onto the battlefield. Oh, you know what, though? That's going to get hit by the Orcish Bowmaster. You know what? That's actually okay, because we want it in play anyway. And then we're going to chill, because we want to play Landlord Navigator with Lurrus, then drop Soul Guide and Mishra's Bauble. Get ourselves a Thieving Magpie. They're starting to get towards... Ah, shit. Fatal Push. That's really not good. Okay. Well, we can Thought Cast into the Bowmasters. They'll do 2 damage to us. But we get a Landlord Navigator, so I'm happy with that. So that's how we're going to win this game. We can Landlord, Bauble, make a blocker. They'll probably swing with their token, which I'm fine with. And then I guess we swing Landlore and see if they want to block with the Bowmaster. No. Okay. Well, we are in a tough position here. We could play the Hollowed Fountain, or we could just crack the map. See what we get. Fragment Reality? Yeah, we're putting that right on top. Okay, let's play out the Hollowed Fountain tapped, and we'll pass. So they're going to keep applying the pressure with the Orc token. And then we're going to attack with the Landlore. See what they do. We can put a map token on this guy. Swords to Plowshares. That's good. I think we want to get rid of the Bowmaster right now, though, if we can. I think they're hard casting Force here. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. We will get their Bowmaster next turn with the swords. Go ahead. Life total's looking a little slim, but we'll again offer the Landlore exchange. Don't think they're going to go for it. And then we'll Swords Bowmaster. Do they have another Force? They have a Daze, which we will, of course, pay for. And then we will Thought Cast. They might Bowmaster us, but at least our Navigator is insulated. Okay, they're Swordsing the Magpie. That's fine. Can't say I really care about that. Bilbo's good, and so is Mishra's Bauble. Bilbo will recast Thought Cast next turn. And you know what? Ah, shoot. I was going to crack some baubles in their upkeep. See what they got going on. We'll go to game 2. Okay, I have been sideboarding the Esper matchup by getting rid of Force of Will, I think, for the Stern Scoldings. It answers just about everything. They don't have a Lurrus companion, which is kind of surprising. I'm not sure why they don't, because all they've shown us are Lurrus compatible cards. But I think I like Scoldings in for the Force of Wills. We'll just run it like that. Okay, this is an interesting hand. We can hold up a Stern Scolding on turn 2. Could also deploy Tamiyo. I mean, this is great. We're going to keep it. We could, yeah, I think I'm going to play Hollowed Fountain. And then we'll play Drix Interlacer. Ooh. Yeah. Let's play Hollowed Fountain. The next turn, we can Drix Interlacer, Seed of the Synod. Hold up Stern Scolding again. Tamiyo. Are they going to daze this? I actually wouldn't mind that much. They're going to consign it. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to go shields down yet because this is our only creature removal, but I'm liking our Tamiyo here. I'm liking our Bilbo. Okay, they go Tamiyo. I think we Stern Scolding it. If they want to have it, they gotta pay for it. They force it. I'm thinking they probably have Brainstorm then. So we might be in a Tamiyo race sort of situation here. Oh, Godless Shrine. Fascinating. Okay. We could drop Tamiyo and Bilbo at the same time and leave the Ancient Den up for a Landlore Navigator next turn. Let's fire off the Bilbo. And then we fire off Tamiyo. This is probably Swords or Fatal Push, I'm guessing. If they don't have the Brainstorm. Okay, the Inquisition, they get the Landlore. That's a bummer, but we're going to be right behind them with a Thought Cast this turn.
Use your words.
So we can attack Tamiyo with Bilbo, where they're going to remove Bilbo. Looks like they're mulling it all over. Yep, they swords the Bilbo. That's fine. We're going to... Oh, Drix Interlacer is really hot. Let's attack with Tamiyo. Make another artifact. You betcha. And then... Thought Cast. Flip the Tamiyo. And what do we have in the graveyard? We could get back Thought Cast. We could get back... Let's take a look at what they got going on with Mistress Bauble. What are they going to pull up here? Psychic Frog? That's not good. We're going to buy back... No, we don't have swords to buy back. Let's... Do we draw here? I don't hate it. Let's draw off the clue. Ah, the Stern Scolding would have come right on time. Okay, we could get a Mox Opal and spike the Stern Scolding. I think I'm willing to do it. Okay, didn't get it. That's okay. Fragment Reality on the Psychic Frog. Don't mind if I do. Fragment can't get rid of Tamiyo. So I'm actually a little spooked out by this Tamiyo flipping soon. Because we've got to get something down to stop her from doing that. Well, we fragged the frog, first and foremost. They get a Tamiyo.
Oh,
we could
to focus on only one project.
I think we are gonna buy back Thoughtcast. We'll get rid of Inquisition. Yeah, I want to buy back Thoughtcast.
I never an exceptional
Shoot.
story.
We're a little low on artifacts, so that we can't really hold up. Ah, now we can hold up Stern Scolding. Okay. This isn't super ideal, but we can play Key to the Side Door next turn.
Inspect the library.
Discard the Tameo. See if that works. They get to draw a card here. What do we have that can get rid of Tameo? I don't think there's anything. I think we're kind of smoked. All right, they draw a card. They're going to go for a treasure cruise? Kind of looks like it. Oh, shit. You know what? I should have soul guided in response. Fuck! To them cracking their fetch? That was stupid. I did not think of that. Oh, but they flipped their Tameo. That's kind of funny. They're probably going to keep the Tameo ready to ult and play. Yep. That checks out.
But I'm not so easily defeated.
Okay. Landlord Navigator does not get there right now. Key to the Side Door. Let's play the Landlord Navigator. Let's play the Key to the Side Door. There is a world where we, through their Tameo ult, beat them? No, that's crazy. I'm smoking. That's kind of nuts of me to say. Oh, shoot. I meant to discard that Tameo with the Key to the Side Door. Shit. Okay. We could play through the ult. See what happens.
So many stories to catalog.
But I'm doubting it's going to be anywhere near effective, especially when they have 4 mana open. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually just going to scoop. Yep, they get the Stern Scolding. It's good. We'll go to game 3. I don't think there's anything I want to change. We do have to make sure that Tameo can't ult. And Tameo ulting is a problem in this deck. Or, sorry, Tameo flipping is a problem in this deck, given that Landlord Navigator and Bilbo are the only things that can attack into it. You can bump up their power with map tokens, but I don't know. We got to make sure it doesn't happen. Okay, this is a turn. We could play Drix. Then we could play Seat of the Synod, Mox Opal, Landlord Navigator turn 2. I think I like this. Yeah, let's run the planes out. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, wait. No, I'll still have the mana for Landlord Navigator. But I should have played Drix there. I don't know what I was thinking. Shit. Yeah, I should have played Drix there. Okay, they're probably... I think they should take Mox Opal, but maybe they'll get spooked out by Bilbo? I don't know. Drix Interlacer? Okay, they took Landlord. Makes plenty of sense. We'll play the Interlacer. Synod coming down. Mox Opal. Do we want to curve out and play Bilbo? What do we have in the yard? We have Landlore. Yeah, why not? And then he can... Should we just draw right now? We're not going to be able to hold anything up, so I don't know if there's a point. Yeah, let's chill. But maybe we can attack in with Bilbo next turn. If Bilbo gets removed, we could put Lurrus into hand and then go get Tameo. Okay, they're going to Prismatic Ending the Drix Interlacer. That's a good play. I can't lie. That's strong. We can't crack it and get anything with it, but we can attack with Bilbo. Just 2 free damage. Do we want a Tameo here or Lurrus? I think let's put Lurrus into hand. Be more efficient with our mana. So the Prismatic Ending was a good reason to crack the Drix Interlacer. It would have hidden it away for their turn. I should have just... I was thinking about protecting ourselves from more discard. Like cracking the Drix Interlacer would just put the card in our hand and then we would be in trouble. Okay, that is a emergency treasure cruise. Cool. Let's play Landlore, and then let's play Tameo. And then we could get...
This is an interesting story.
We can't get any trigger off of that, but... cracking the Drix Interlacer, but maybe we want to tuck it away again in case they got the prismatic ending. I think we do. I'm not going to lie. We're just going to put that away. We got a nice looking board here, but all they have to do is play something like a Psychic Frog, and then they have their choice of what they're going to block. And that is representing a an Orcish Bowmaster for sure. But we gotta jam. We just gotta jam here. We make clues, we make map tokens. This is like the ideal situation. They flash the Bowmaster in immediately. Get rid of the Navigator. That's okay. We're probably gonna lose Bilbo. Almost certainly. They're gonna block with Psychic Frog. Pump him so that he doesn't die. That's smart. And then we're going to play Lurrus. It might get countered. Ah, nope. Okay, it doesn't. I'm super lucky. Wow. It might get swords here, but we just got to keep applying the pressure. That was a really hasty treasure cruise from them, but I think that might have been really aptly timed. Yeah, they get the Fatal Push for our Lurrus. They get to swing in. Draw some cards. Maybe swords or Tameo. And then we're once again in the position where we have to draw cards in front of Orcish Bowmaster. Yeah, this is a bummer. All right, time to start drawing. Fragment Reality. That'll do something. Okay. They get a Hydro. Let's do Drix Interlacer number 1. Do they have the Bowmasters here? Ah, man. Let's throw the Chrome Mox out just to pump this Drix. Man, they just loaded up on really good removal. We are in big trouble. Get rid of a Strip Mine to pump the Psychic Frog. They play out a Tameo, and
Is there a deeper meaning?
I think we're dead. They could just dump everything into the Psychic Frog. We could bluff having something, but yeah, we're just dead. Man, this is a bummer. I've been doing pretty well with this deck off of the videos, but just can't get there. Oh well, GG's. All right, 3 losses, triple 1-2 games with Lurrus, Azorius, Affinity. We ran into some of the natural predators of this deck, and our opponents just also had some really well-chosen removal and discard for us, like that tempo matchup we played against. In that last match there, they just were able to answer everything we had. Definitely didn't play some things super right, but, you know, with prismatic endings and fatal pushes and swords, they're just able to mop up our board before we were able to get off the ground most of the time. I love playing these decks where we draw a lot of cards, but like, man, you just end up having to fold to Orcish Bowmasters unless you have that sweet removal. I'm not sure if Stern Scolding is enough to kind of like insulate us from what it can do and how it can stop our deck in its tracks. You know, there were a couple of times today to draw into our outs, we had to draw cards into a Bowmasters, and that really never feels good. That's almost always a death sentence. We actually did see Bilbo get some pretty good time on the battlefield today. You can kind of see how it does its Emery slash Lurrus thing pretty well. We didn't draw any like super fat Drix Interlacers off of him. Maybe there was just one time that we did, but yeah, you know, this deck hinges on Landlord Navigator and Tamiyo establishing an early presence. I'm starting to think that maybe this deck would make sense splashing a little bit of red, and I wonder if you can afford that red given the fact that you're running Mox Opal. Maybe we need to bump up the number of Chromoxes we're running as well, but I'm wondering if some red sideboard cards like an Abrade or any kind of 2-mana spell that can help us get rid of a Chalice of the Void, if that would be helpful. If Corey Steelcutter would be helpful, you know, like it pairs super well with a Landlord Navigator. Maybe we want to do a couple of Corys alongside of Bilbo, and instead of running 4 Fragment Realities, we get a couple of Lightning Bolts in there. I think it would make the mana situation a lot more hectic, but I just really like this Seed of the Synod Ancient Den like combo into like, you know, we had these nice turn 1 plays where it's like you drop a Seed of the Synod or a land or whatever, and, you know, you have a Bauble and an Opal. So, like, you've got 2 mana open on turn 1. You drop your Landlord Navigator. Maybe you drop a land, play a Drix Interlacer, play out your 0 drops. Your Drix Interlacer is starting to go online. I think decks like this are always going to be a little fringe until we get Urza Saga in the format. I'm just imagining the power level of this deck once Saga becomes a timeless playable card, and it feels like it would really kind of surge, maybe not through the roof, but certainly up in the rankings and make Affinity a much more viable strategy. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to say it. I kind of believe in the Bilbo, Lurrus, Affinity Shell combo. Is it the most resilient thing? Absolutely not. Is Emery a better turn 1 play? Absolutely. But if you're able to get him going, if you're able to, like, you know, like when his attack trigger goes on the stack, you're able to swords or frag your opponent's potential blocker, that's not a bad situation. Being able to recast the Thoughtcast is a really good situation. Looping the Drix Interlacer kind of goes crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I hesitate to want to do this in a strip mine format, but maybe Jeskai Lurrus Affinity can be a thing, because I do feel like we're missing a little bit on the threat side of things. You know, maybe we would go down on our Force of Wills and end up playing Corey Steelcutters, see if there are other red cards that we want to run. You know, red would obviously answer our weird sort of like Winds of Abandon situation here. We'd just run Pyroclasm or Fire Magic, something like that. But yeah, maybe we will revisit this when Urza Saga comes to the format. Folks, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry the performances were not super great today, but we got wins in each of our matches, and hopefully you can see the kind of like fun and power level that this deck has to offer. I do think it's just really cool that Bilbo gives us a little bit of an answer for making Affinity something that is Lurrus compatible. Keep your eyes peeled for more timeless videos in the future, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.